Still, he's very good, but not yet quite on the level as the likes of, a Lufel or China #1 or ZZH from SPT. So let's see if they can maybe evolve into that stronger team that many claim them to be against RPG.
Indeed. RPG, though, getting the first map choice. And they're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And this is interesting. I actually think, for starters, this is a good map for Hot Lady. They actually have really decent win rates on, comparatively compared to their other maps, as you can see here.
So does RPG.
Though. And this is the wonderful thing. RPG seems to consistently want the lower level teams seem to consistently want to take the higher level teams to Tomb of the Spider Queen because their win rate's kind of garbage. So the fact that RPG have that 100% win rate, it could explain that the better teams are actually realizing that they should really ban it out against RPG.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind that, of course, those map scores also transition over from Phase 1. So RPG played a lot of Tomb of the Spider Queen in Phase 1. And very successfully, as you could see with the win ratio there, 8-0. That's beyond impressive. That's really, really powerful. So can Hot Lady hold their own? Because as Tetris said, they are also looking pretty powerful on this battleground. And the Tychus ban, we have seen something similar a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, we have. It's interesting that he's sneaking in there. Would you like to, what is your reasoning behind it?
So I think that Tychus has always been a ranged assassin that hasn't really been weak, but he didn't really excel because he doesn't really fit into this double support comp, right? So he's not the traditional hyper carry. As such, he's been kind of neglected in favor of Vala and etc. But I think Tychus has the tank shredding capabilities that many teams actually fear right now, whether they want to go for a secret Cho'Gall strat or whether they want to go for the likes of Stitches, Diablo. Tychus shreds those high HP warriors that are very common in the current meta.
Yes, he does. So it really does affect your drafting technique, having Tychus available. It makes Cho'Gall a bit less viable, which the teams are trying to sneak in. He's trying to get in as quick as he can.
Yeah. So the Oriel making it in here. We saw her banned almost the entire time during Playday #2 for Week 4. And I actually can't recall if she was ever picked yesterday because teams focused so much on getting her out of the way.
No, Ariel was not picked at all. She was banned every single game.
Wow, yeah.
It was pretty fascinating. Uther was sort of let through all but 2 games and was not played in like 2 of the games he was allowed in.
Okay, Tetra, take a look at RPG's draft here and tell me if they're gonna go Cho'Gall or not. This is almost too obvious, right?
It's gotta be. Who play it though? Like, is it the chicken? It can't be the chicken wag. As much as I would really like that.
So Loktar, I think, would be the Gall maybe.
Yeah.
In Infinity.
They have to pick it now. I put Infinity in the Gall.
Yeah.
That way you can't miss micro.
So the thing is, they won't have Oriel because that one was picked away by Hot Lady. So there is another support that pairs up really, really well with Cho'Gall, and that is Rhaegar, because of the ancestral healing, because of the strong value you get from Earthshield, thanks to the gigantic health pool. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a big bluff. What do you think? Even Hot Lady could still go for it. Like, let's face it.
They can. It's still pretty decent for their comp as well. I personally am not a huge fan of solo tank Cho, but if you're on double support, you're going to have a pretty decent time with it, so I don't hate it as much.
Yeah, so already things are starting to get super interesting with the first game of the day.
What would be a giveaway ban here? Leoric?
That would be too obvious. Also, I think that Leoric isn't really that big of a counter anymore. True, the Drain Hope is very painful to deal with, but oftentimes if you go for that in Tomb, and all of your other team members are clumping up to get the focus on Cho'Gall done, you can actually counter-strike really hard.
Malthael would have been the correct ban here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and they know about it. They banned the Rhaegar because they realize not only could it work exceptionally well with Cho'Gall, but also they already have the top 2 supports, and they want to get rid of #3.
Who do you heal? Who do you use to heal if you are going Cho'Gall? I guess Morales is pretty good with it. Karazim could work, not as much single target healing. Lily would just be an amazing pain. Like, imagine juggle 1,000 cups onto Cho'Gall. That'd be amusing.
Oh, they go for
no, it's not. No Cho'Gall. Urin and a hacker. They threatened it. They realized it wasn't happening, and they let it go. Yeah, it's fair enough.
At some point, you just need to let go and abandon ship.
This has to stop. But no, we don't see the Cho'Gall baited. There is the Malthael anyway. They would have had a pretty rough time with that. Now we need a tank for Hot's Lady. Tira is removed. They can't triple Angel as much as I'm sure they'd like to.
True, true. There's still a couple of warriors available. Arthas, for example, Carlos, trademark hero, if you will. Then the Murden would be even a nice choice as well. I think there's plenty of options. Even though Johanna, we saw her yesterday on this very battleground, I think, and the wave clear she brings could actually add to Hot's Lady's comp, because that's the only thing right now they're kind of lacking, sir, right?
Yeah, Valor gives a little bit of wave clear, but not the perfect amount, the optimum amount you want for a rotation. Stitches also does that job quite well, that is who we're going to see. I'm amazed that he got this far down in the draft. But that is the attack that we end up seeing, and now Chicken has a hero, Wang has a hero. We need something for Infinity or Loktar as the final pick. Li Ming becomes a little bit less viable with Stitches around, but could still get some good value. They seem to like the hero as well. With Tychus removed, they're another one down.
Yeah.
Falstad or Li Ming are the two go-to ones that they would normally pick.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't also forget about Gul'dan. Gul'dan's strong wave clear. He has seen a little bit of, you know, more popularity over all the regions lately. In Korea, he was picked by MVP Black, if I recall correctly, to great success, actually. So I think also yesterday in the Open Division for Europe, we saw him pop up every now and then, right?
I believe so, yeah. We saw him popping in quite a few times. It was nice. He's still good. It is a situation of he doesn't really fit the meta, he's too threatenable, and then nope, denied. That's a cool one. How often have we seen them play that?
I can't recall RPG ever using the Chromie, to be honest. I guess that would be a job for Infinity or Loktar. Loktar normally their mage player, so yeah, that's very interesting. We always knew how much of a counter the Chromie can be, especially to an Oriole comp, because she can poke from afar, she can poke down the assassin most importantly, and then Oriole won't generate energy. So yeah, also in this map I would say that there's only so many options Chromie can get flanked from. So she's relatively safe during the rotations, can always hide behind some walls and towers, and I like it.
Loktar has played Chromie twice.
There we go.
According to my statistics. He has a 50% win rate. Infinity has never played it.
There we go. So it's Loktar, baby.
Loktar. And hopefully no Ogar. Well, if the Ogar comes, it comes to their opponents.
So what does...
have to see.
You had a crash course in Orcish by Grubby, I heard. So what does the Ogar stand for?
Loktar Ogar literally translates to victory or death.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it is Loktar is victory, Ogar is death. Which is, gotta be honest, little bit prejudiced against ogres. I'm sure Rexar would be very displeased to learn this, but whatever, it's their culture.
Whatever they please, you know. I wouldn't want to argue with an orc over this one. I mean, if someone in real life.
Exactly. It's like if the German word for the common cold was English. That would be that's basically how that would work.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the first game of the day between RPG and Hot's Lady. Alright, and we are sent to Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're going to witness the first game between RPG and Hot's Lady. Here's RPG with Chicken on the Dahaka, Wang on his Anubarak, Sa the Malfurion, Infinity plays the Chromie after all, and Loktar on the Greymane once again.
Whereas on the right-hand side, it is going to be Hot's Lady, with Y on Vala, Pommy on Ariel, Lias on the Melthael, Meng on the Uther, and Carlo is going to be playing Stitches.
Alright, so slight hero change. We all expected Loktar to play the Chromie, but he stays true to his Worgen roots, and he's going to field the Greymane once more.
Indeed, which is fair enough. Loktar has 10 games on Greymane, according to the statistics, which are not always up to date. He does actually only have a 20% win rate, but whatever, we don't judge here. Whereas Infinity, this will be, according to the statistics, his first game on Chromie in HGC China. So cool to see.
And Infinity is already changing things up here by going for the Q build on Chromie, going for the Sandblast. So no reveal and globe Quest talent, which is normally the go-to across all the regions, actually. I think he just wants to focus more on poking people from afar and to cause even more problems for the double support comp this way. Now we see a gank in the top lane. Wang and Chicken, who else?
Lias getting focused down though. Malthael using that movement speed time to get level 1, getting himself out of dodge and keeping himself safe.
Yeah, keeping himself safe for now. It is also worth mentioning that Meng once again switched to the support role, which always seems to be the case when Hots Lady is going for that double support. Meng normally one of their assassin players, but it's cool to see that he's flexible enough to also switch roles if required. Now Chicken in trouble, gets to the bushes. Is he going to get out to safety? Yeah! Oh my god.
He gets out. Y was actually going even further forward, looking for that opportunity, looking for that hiding the Haka. Unable to find it though, as Chromie hits her level 2 talent.
Yeah. Ooh, another deviation here from the normal standard.
Chromie.
No bronze talents, but instead we see the enveloping assault. So the radius of his W is going to get enlarged by 25%. This is an extremely weird build, I gotta say. No piercing sense. What in the world? Like, if you want to go Q build, you go piercing sense, right?
I guess, yes. Like, I don't know what's happening here. This is weird. Like, yeah, you're going to get really good single target damage, which I guess is the idea. Just spam it onto Malthael to blow him up after the wombo.
Yeah.
That's my logic here. That's all I can think of.
Well, for now, we're just gonna, silently nod in approval, and we're gonna be like patiently waiting of what this new Chromie build from China can actually accomplish.
I bet we're gonna end up seeing Chromie still use her Q on minions, just out of sheer muscle memory. At this point, I've done it. I've absolutely done it. Where I thought I had fishing hooks, sent down a hook, and been like,
oh, not this time around.
Everyone forgets. Everyone forgets their talent sometimes. So, Nocta clearing up as best he can as Infinity. Using that extra area is making good value out of it to clear the waves. So,
yeah,
this is good already.
Definitely true. That's definitely an advantage of going for this route. Now, I gotta say, I really, really like Malfurion on this map on Tomb of the Spider Queen, especially if he goes for Moonburn, which is one of the newer talents in his arsenal, and after killing minions, or killing enough minions, he's gonna have an exceptional amount of extra wave clear, and that cannot be underestimated on a wave clear heavy map like Tomb of the Spider Queen. Also, he went for Elune's Grace, which gives him a longer casting range, so he can poke from afar, he can land those roots a little bit more safely. Wang in trouble though, gets hooked back 2 stitches, and also annihilated by Lias on the Malphite, who was just at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, nicely done. That's going to be first blood going over to Hots Lady as well. What? That is an Attainment Strike talent coming in for the Ariel, by the way. I believe that is the slow after the stun.
Yes, you're totally right. That is actually the stun damage.
Cool.
That is the stun damage. Yeah.
Wow, cool.
And it's a quest talent as well, so when you, I think it was 6 heroes or 7 heroes, after stunning them successfully, you basically have another damage bonus. So, Pommy here going for flat-out aggression on the Oriel.
Yeah, so much CC potential here, where they can lock down with Uther on Stitches. So there's walls pretty much everywhere on this map, so if you're going to do it, this is the map for it.
Once again, Wang on the retreat. He does not want to get caught again here. The Web Weavers, they've done a pretty decent job, destroying towers in the middle, in the bottom, and in the top as well. And that results in RPG getting a pretty comfortable XP bonus here. And that's always so important to keep in mind. When you play on towers, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you really, really do want to get that first turn in, because that can really cause you to snowball quite handsomely. Now, we also see the Touch of Death for Malthael, so less healing for Malth.
Yeah, I'm seeing...
And less self-healing done as well, by the way, by Dahaka.
Oh yeah, that's going to be really helpful if he can time that well with either adaptation or the essence being dropped. Hots Lady getting the turn in. Everyone does it. And Noob not in time to delay here. 45 gems turned in so far by Hots Lady, as we still see RPG hovering around the map. They don't have a huge amount of gems just in general. They turn in 20, but Hots Lady definitely doing a better job at farming these up.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 5 more are needed. Pommy trying to pay his 6 here. but of course Wang is closely watching, and he's not going to let that happen just like that. However, he needs to be careful. There we go, the Determined Strike coming out, but RPG really needs to be careful that they don't give too many free stacks to Palmy, because that extra damage on the Determined Strike can actually be really, really deadly, because as Tetra said earlier, there's plenty of walls to knock targets against. Now, let's focus a little bit more on Chromie's build here, because she went for such an unusual route here. She went for Dragon's Eye, that is fairly common, and the Slowing Sands.
That's cool. She can get the increased center damage while still getting the burst damage. Going to be good against Ariel, so that she can try to snipe people, and the Slowing Sands for the same reason. Grouping everyone together so that the cocktails can land, so that the root can land. Just try to get as much value out of all of their AoE as possible, especially seeing as Malfurion is almost certainly going for Twilight Dream.
Exactly, and look how patiently RPG is playing this. They're playing this so smart. They want to delay the pay-ins from Hot Lady by any means, and only after arriving at level 10 will they go a little bit more aggressively. For now, they're just going to keep on stalling, but the moment I mention it, I think I might as well have just cursed it. They let it go through, and level 10 at least is available for them now, so they can face the web viewers with heroic abilities while their opponents cannot.
Yeah, so with the level 10s available, like you said, they're going to be on the defense. They still need to continue to pick up gems, though, seeing as they were very far behind in that farming. With Hot Lady very quickly on their way towards the second turn, and if they're able to keep this push going and grab more gems.
Tetra, China's done it. Tranquility for Malfurion. We see it for the very first time in a long time.
It's back, and I was baited. So, I mean, yeah, like, honestly, when I was thinking about it recently, I was thinking, how do you deal with Malthael just jumping onto you? Yeah, your side's just going to reduce his healing, but you're still taking all the damage, and if they just Divine Shield him, he's going to be fine, because he's running that comp these days. Why not just now heal him? Like, the Tranquility could work out here. We will have to see.
Yeah, there's basically two ideas behind those heroic abilities, right? The one that Tetra just mentioned, out-heal the damage that Vala and Malthael would inflict on your teammates. The other one is silence Malthael so he can self-heal and then kill him. However, you've got double support behind him, double protection as well. The Crystal Aegis, the Divine Shield. So even after successfully silencing Malthael, there's still plenty of protection tools available for Hot Lady. So maybe this new interesting approach of out-healing is actually going to work. Let's find out. Tranquility was buffed a couple of times, and Twilight Dream was nerfed a couple of times. So maybe that is going to be the new go-to.
Cocktail Denial coming in there. Nicely done by Loktar as he moves in. Chicken taking the shots. I'm sure Loktar would be very happy if the new hero was a Horde 1. Kendrick would not. As we see RPG getting the snipe on Valor. They're looking for Malthael now. Can't seem to catch him though. The cocoon is
they caught someone else though.
They have Ariel too. Picking up so many kills. Stitches
shall not
getting
pass.
body blocked. Down he goes. Beautifully done.
Yeah. Absolute picture-perfect execution here by RPG. They utilized Chromie's crowd control with the Slowing Sands and her poke damage to kill the most important target, the Vala. And I can't believe that neither the Divine Shield... well, okay, they take another one. And they take the gems in.
Raided. Guard the gems, guard the gems, guard the gems. Careful, Meg. There we go. Wow, that was a lot of gems dropped.
Yeah, indeed. And once again, I can't believe that neither the Divine Shield nor the Crystal Aegis were used to protect the Vala. Maybe it all went too fast, it happened too quickly.
Maybe they didn't see Chromie because she was out of vision range.
Yeah, true.
So many different ways that could have gone wrong for Hot Lady, but right now we're seeing a 2-level lead for RPG, who are looking to make it a 3-level lead. The Divine Shield, though, is used almost timed bit early there by Infinity, but the effort was made.
Yeah, so far so good, and another Web Beaver Wraith is knocking at Hot Lady's door. And, you know, this one is going to be really hard to defend. Look at Palmy. No energy and sitting at 50% health. And that's what's going to happen to you when you take too much damage from the Chromie poke. And in such situations, there's nothing Oriel can contribute really to a team fight or to a defense. So she's immediately retreating, trying to get some energy against the minions, although that takes significantly longer than when your allies are dealing damage to your enemy heroes. But for now, it has to suffice.
We see reaching through time from Chromie at her level 11, and her level 12 level 14 talent, sorry, is going to be the Quantum Overdrive. So at least this part of her, like anything from 7 onwards, is pretty standard.
Exactly, exactly. And so far, we gotta say, you know, it's not like RPG is doing poorly here. Quite the opposite is the case. So Chromie did have significant impact. So this build so far, despite being out of the ordinary, definitely working.
Indeed. I'd be curious to see how many stacks Chromie's on, but we do not get to see that with this UI, and no one has a alert has not popped up on our screen yet. So we're going to assume that she's not stacked. The whole point, this is where why we were talking about the piercing sands, though. It helps Chromie stack up quicker. Instead, Infinity's just like, okay, I'm just going to be patient. I hope I'll get it eventually. Going to take the extra wave clear, take the extra sieging damage onto the back line, and just play it a little bit further back and a little bit more cautiously. They are going for the poke down siege style.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have Bursting Light on Oriel, but if you never have full energy, or if you only have full energy very rarely because your Vala gets poked and punished all the time, it is not really the best of talents. So already you can see the dilemma that Pommy finds himself in on that Oriel so far. And Infinity, look at that range, reaching through time. He's almost one entire screen away from Carlo, and not even the best Stitches player can anticipate where Chromie is going to be at.
Carlo also does not have his own dampen magic, so he's suffering a little bit here. Chromie has been hooked in, though. Getting taken out this time. This has, however, acted as a marvelous distraction for the boss to be taken. That will be finished up very shortly. They need to hurry up, though, because Wang is trying to distract.
Don't lead him here, Wang!
Stop. Don't lead them. Oh my god, they're still not done. They're going to finish it off, though, but Stitch is very close to this area. Good zoning by Wang. And Chicken, perfect distraction in that bot lane. They're able to drive everyone away, and as long as Wang survives, which he does, everyone is going to be able to live. And RPG, even though they lost Chromie, coming out of that pretty well. Get out of there, Chicken.
Yeah, and that is something we mentioned yesterday as well. Taking those Siege Giants into the Spider Queen can be so powerful, especially if you combine it with the boss maneuver at the top, because those lanes are at the complete opposite sides. So the distraction created by those Siege Giants and Chicken pushing was more than enough to buy enough time for RPG to take that boss. And oh boy, another turn in, this could get ugly.
It's really that RPG banner is gorgeous.
It is.
As the root is landed onto Stitches. Yeah, oh, I think I heard a spray, but I can't see where it was or who it was either. I want to see the RPG spray, because I'm going to be rocking that on several heroes.
Nice.
Any melee assassin, I'm going to be rocking the RPG spray. In celebration of Chicken. As we do see them move in here, sieging down the minions, sieging down the fort. RPG putting on a lot of hurt onto the structures of Hot Lady here.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you guys who weren't able to watch yesterday or the weeks before, the Chinese pro players, they were playing on a tournament client, and on that one, we have all the upcoming HGC swag unlocked. As you can see, another RPG banner on that Destroyed Keith. Really, really cool to see. Yesterday, we had the chance to watch some of these CE banners and Hot Lady banners. So definitely be on the lookout for those goodies of your favorite teams.
Indeed. So, mercenaries spawning up in the on the side of Hot Lady. They may actually be able to move in and take their own mercenaries this time. Have we even seen Tranquility used yet, by the way?
No, we haven't seen it once, if I recall correctly, because frankly put, there hasn't been enough pressure applied by Hot Lady.
Indeed. Oh boy. Good value so far. We'll see if we do actually get to see it. Nailed it.
That was just a scouting hook, I presume. 16 is not yet there for Hot Lady. They need to be careful. Carlo, you don't want to go there. That's the wrong neighborhood. But his spider senses were tingling anyway. Good job.
Good job indeed. The rest of Hot Lady clearing up top lane for the moment. That is the key for RPG to move in and steal this camp up using that big old locked-on damage. Hook's gonna delay it though.
Yeah.
Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Delay it. Delay it. Make them wait. There we go. It gets killed off, and RPG able to pick that up.
Here we go. What can they make use of here with that mercenary camp? Chromie once again hammering on that tower line. She's trying to hit the Vala, most importantly. All her abilities
they have
already.
used Trank, according to the audience. So
they have?
Thank you, audience.
Okay.
They've used it once, so there we go. Value. It's all good. As we do see RPG turning in again. They don't have enough for a full turn in, so this is just removing their gems in case Stitches gets that good blind hook. Speaking of which, Stitches, you're behind. Comeback potential. Fishing hook, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
As we do see Hot Lady. This is not a... This is the correct move. This is the... I personally believe this is a really good idea. If you're behind, you can create yourself a comeback potential by using Fishing hook.
Yeah, and I don't think...
dropped.
Oh, there we go.
Killed.
Gets shredded immediately though. So
they're delaying while top is pushed.
Hots Lady.
Beautiful.
They're actually taking the bait as well. It was such an easy maneuver, but I think they at this point value the turn-in more than a keep because they really need to turn the tide around and get something done themselves here. Wang once again in trouble, dodges the hook, but he can't dodge the strafe. Can he?
Heal shields.
Oh!
Looking for the kill. So crazy over the wall keeps him alive, and Wang survives. Cause dying. Okay.
Cause dying, by the way. Yep.
Unlocked our chicken is out. Beautiful. RPG just becoming the masters of playing the map at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely. They are outplaying Hots Lady left, right, and center. There we go. The hook being used. The Putrid Ball as well. Not catching anyone anytime soon. So Carlo definitely using his buttons in the wrong order there, in my opinion. He should have definitely used the Putrid Ball first, not stand still and try to catch him because of his increased movement speed. But as it is, RPG, they're everywhere on the map. They're split pushing with Haka and Greymane, getting the second keep of the game, while Hots Lady is desperately trying to get an engagement done. But Carlo, no disrespect, but I think the Stitches performance we've seen in this game was not the most impressive one I've ever seen.
No, and this is what we said about Carlo. Good player, but not on that professional level yet. He needs more experience. He is new. Hook onto the Anubarak. Can they blow him up? Heal number 1. Storm Shield number 2. To keep him alive, the healing reduction. Burrow Shield, and Wang is out of there. Surviving again.
Wang refuses to die. He's done the same thing yesterday already, and the rewind was so well used that he had 2 instances of Burrow Charge ready to escape the onslaught from Hots Lady, and now Carlo and Pommy, the next ones to fall. Leas is trying to help out on the Malthail, but there's only so much the Archangel of Death can do. Nice ice block, not enough though. Meng finishes the job, but look at the red goo, red gems everywhere, and unfortunately Hots Lady probably won't be able to use those anymore as RPG continues to go for the core.
Yeah, they are moving in. 2 keeps down. Catapults will be joining them shortly from that bottom lane. Top lane is pushing up as well, even if this does fail. And that is going to be GG, with RPG taking game number 1.
Yeah, and not only do they take game number 1, Tetra, they also took it in absolute dominant fashion. And this is definitely the RPG that we want to see here. The team, or one of the few teams in the league that can truly rival the top 3. And I think with this performance here against Hots Lady, a straight up rival, they once again cement their claim of being one of the best teams in the region.